Alright guys, welcome back. So today I picked up this. It's a Generac GP 3300. This one actually runs and makes power, so hope this will be a short video. The last few have been a little bit more work than I thought going into it, so it'd be nice to have an easy one. Anyway, there's not a lot wrong with this machine. I mean, it does need the basic tune-up items, oil change, just give it a good cleaning. I did take a look at the fuel lines and they're okay, but they are starting to crack a little bit, like right there. So they are getting a bit dry. So I need to replace those. Air filter I did take a look at, looks fine. When the engine was running, the recoil was making a lot of noise, like it was still hitting, the mechanism that the recoil engages on the engine. And, I noticed this whole housing is pretty loose. So, I thought, okay, some loose screws or screws are missing, bolts, whatever, just replace them, tighten them. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. There's a bolt in each corner holding it in place, the blower housing, and you can probably just barely see it, but that metal is completely split. So that bolt is holding nothing in that corner, and it's the same thing down in the bottom right. Broken. So luckily these housings are available and they're cheap. They're only like 16 bucks, so I already ordered that. Fuel tank looks good, no rust. Fuel looks maybe a little old, but not terrible. I do see some debris in there. Usually there's a screen right here, which is the fuel filter. That's missing, and there's no fuel filter down here. So I'm definitely going to pull the sediment bowl and see what's, clean that out. And see if I can get some of that debris out. And when I was looking at the debris, I kind of noticed, I don't know if you see that, that's the filter that should be right up here in the opening, keeping those pine needles out. So I don't know what the story is with that, if it's broken or how it got in there, but I'll see if I can get it out in one piece and potentially use it again. Aside from that, I don't see anything obvious wrong with this. Carburetor, I think, is doing what it's supposed to. Probably pull that drain bolt and just make sure there's, nothing coming out of there that shouldn't be. If it looks clean, then I'll probably just leave that alone. Obviously, I need to change the oil. The guy said the only problem he ever had with it was it wouldn't start because it was low on oil. And I thought, great. So he never probably checked the oil or changed it for that matter. That oil, I did check the oil and it was very black oil. So he probably just added more oil, and then when it burned it up, he added more oil, and didn't actually change it. So I'm gonna have to change that a couple times to get it clean. Anyway, what happened to my focus? There it is. So in a few days, I should get the new blower housing, and I'll turn you back on for that. That's a quick install. And once that's done, maybe we'll fix the fuel lines and the fuel filter, fire it up, make sure it makes power at the proper voltage and frequency, and see if there's anything else that needs to be done with this. So I'll turn you back on in a few days once I have the blower housing. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the air shroud to come in, I'm going to go through the fuel system. So I think first thing I'm going to do is drain out the gas tank. Okay, well that's draining. I'm just going to take a quick look at the contents of the carburetor bowl. Make sure there's no water or debris in there. Looks pretty good. I don't see any water or debris, so I'm going to leave the carburetor alone. Okay, so I was able to fish this out just using this grabber tool, and also use the same tool to get some of the bigger pieces of debris. There are still some finer particles, but I'm not really able to get those out with the tools that I have. So at this point, I'm going to move on to the sediment bowl and replace the fuel line and fuel clamps, and then just close everything up. Yep, it's clean. Good. All right, this came a little bit sooner than I thought, but it's finally here. Direct from Parts Tree. We have a Generac blower housing with all 4 tabs, although this one is already mangled. So, whatever. When I tighten that up, it should straighten out. So let's get the old one off and get the recoil moved over and bolt the new one on, and bring it outside and give it a start. All right, let's bring it outside and test the power output. Okay, so I'm ready to give this thing a try. You might see me when it's running. I'm going to check the voltage and the hertz. If the hertz are low, especially at half load, I might adjust the throttle screw a bit, and it's right there. I won't be able to talk while I'm doing it because you won't hear me, but let me start it up, just get some basic readings with no load. Then I'll put this hair dryer on high, which will be approximately a half load, and see what the readings are then, and make adjustments if needed. Okay, so it started pretty well, runs well, no surging or anything. The hertz was right around 60 with no load, maybe a little below. And under load, it was too low. I think it was around 57. So I did turn the throttle up a little bit, so now it's 61 with no load, and like 59 and a half under a 1500 watt load, which is good. You know, when it's under about half load, you do want it to be around 60 hertz. General rule of thumb, you don't want it to be above 62 or below 58. So I think we're in that sweet zone. So we're pretty much done here. I didn't hear the noise anymore coming from the recoil hitting the cup, so that new blower housing did the trick. Anyway, hope this helps someone. Thanks for watching.